Hello, wrestling fans. Quick Charisma. Hey, that's me. Today I'm with Jeremiah Plunkett.
Yellow again, everybody. Jeremiah Plunkett and Quentin Charisma. Once again, we are smack dab on ringside and ready to go with another big week of the Territorial Wrestling Review podcast. Quentin, second time I'm seeing you this week.
I know. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, Quentin and I did end up going down to the old wrestling reunion. We'll cover a little bit of that later, but we got to spend a little more time than normal and share some stories this weekend.
Yep. We'll do some talking later on.
I'm ready because we recorded none of it, just like we thought we would.
Yeah, no, that's. But the thing is, I think it's better because if I know I'm not being recorded, I can just, if I'm recording, I'm trying to think, and yeah, I don't know. I think I do better.
You don't say the wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing these women get all crazy. Got to see the men get crazy last week. I'm ready to see some women get crazy. Lord knows we know women are crazy, but this is just backcrap crazy. So
yeah, we've got a wild one this week. The match we're going to watch this week is from FMW, Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling. It is from their, I believe, 7th anniversary show. Let me check that. Yes, it is their 7th anniversary show in Kawasaki, Japan. It is a no-rope electrified barbed wire death match. Combat Toyoda versus Megumi Kudo. So, Quentin, I've got my screen on the 000s. Are you set up?
Yeah, tell the people who are watching here.
I just said
who it's coming from. Because I don't know if people watch along or not, but if there is some people who want to watch along, let them know where they can find it at.
I thought you meant the participants in the match.
You know what I meant. What
the this is brought to us by a YouTube channel, The R Bottom.
That like rock bottom?
I'm assuming that's where it came from because most of his content is wrestling related. And it is a 36-minute, 22-second clip. So if you're ready, I'm ready. In 3, 2, 1, play. All right, okay. So that is Megumi Kudo. In the shiny pink.
She looks like a normal woman.
Yeah. So this is what I told you. This is a girl who you wouldn't look at and go, yeah, deathmatch. This makes sense.
Yeah.
And this is also Combat Toyoda's retirement match.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, this is the retirement match of Combat Toyota. And right now we're getting a promo package where they're I don't know, this is the most, how do I describe it? The most humble and very straightforward I've ever seen before, like a big crazy match where people are going to bleed and explode. It's like, we are going to leave all our fighting spirit out there, and I respect very much Combat Toyota, and they're about to go out here and just mutilate each other.
Probably thinking, thank goodness this is our last time we're doing these crazy matches.
But it's not. Like, what Toyota, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, because it's not, huh?
Sure, because Combat Toyota, yeah, sure, she's gone. There we go. There's Combat Toyota. Now you can look at her and think deathmatch.
Yeah, she looks like she a protege of Dump.
She does kind of look like Dump, doesn't she?
She reminds you of Dump.
And just to clarify for anybody listening to this who doesn't know Dump Miyamoto, yeah, we're referring to somebody. We're not being very PG and saying she looks like crap.
Yeah. You're talking about taking a dump. We're talking about Dump, the wrestler that could probably beat up half the men in wrestling.
That makes me want to see if there's any matches between the two. Those would probably be some killers.
Well, there was a third person in the Devils of Japan. There, when Nakano left, there was a third one that took her place. I don't know if the timelines match up or not, or she could just be a protege of Dump. I don't know. I get that Dump with the hair and the makeup and I got a Dump, just the aura of Dump coming off her.
That sounded terrible.
No, I didn't. Well, her name's Dump. What am I
and we've got the main event light show.
Okay,
Daddy.
I'm sorry. Ric Flair robe for a death match. This is crazy. She's all robed up, the boa feathers on the robe and everything. You wouldn't expect that for somebody who's going to a death match.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You're right.
Yeah, she looks like she's got the pink robe, got the sequins on it. Looks like maybe some zebra print on the collar, maybe.
No, I think that's like the jewel like looking leaves.
Okay.
Or like olive branch looking things.
Gotcha.
Flair had those on the lapels of some of his robes too.
But I mean, it's a really nice, flashy robe to be going to the death match. It just, I don't know. It just is like, what?
That's
and you look at her, and
neither of these girls dressed for a death match.
Well, they didn't. They're there for a long time. The beginning of the death match, the only person dressed for a death match was Pogo. So how many belts this chick got? 2, 3?
2. So one's the WWA World Women's Championship, and the other is the FMW World Women's Championship.
Okay.
And I'm trying to.
Dude, she just looks mean, man. I've heard her name, but I've never seen a picture of her.
She looks a lot like the other giant female heels over there.
Yeah, I get it. She just, if she didn't train under Dump, she probably idolized her because I get that feel of, you know.
Yeah. Oh, the aura is definitely very, very, very similar. I'm trying to see what was the draw for this. So they had 33,231 people.
Is this on top?
This is not. Well, it's considered one of the main events. I believe they had a triple main event that night.
Gotcha.
The preceding main event was Cactus Jack against Wing Kanamura in a Caribbean barbed wire barricade spider net glass death match. Again, that's a Caribbean barbed wire barricade spider net cage. Then was this, and then the last show of the night was Hayabusa and Masato Tanaka took on the Puerto Rican Army's Mr. Pogo and Terry Funk in a no rope exploding barbed wire double hell exploding death match.
Dang. So they like the barbed wire and the exploding barbed wire in FMW, didn't they?
I think they figured once they set it up, they might as well have all the matches have it.
Just keep going, yeah. Just leave it up.
They'll just reload.
Yeah. I'm like, how's she gonna get that robe on? Very, very, very gingerly.
Yeah, so her robe reminds me of the Spider Lady.
Reminds me of Angel of Death from World Class and Watts' territory, UWF.
The caller reminds me of the old Dracula guy who used to host the horror shows on public access.
The Dracula guy.
I feel like every public access had that guy. You know, he'd be
whatever,
yeah. and then here it is to the public domain horror movie we can show on this channel.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks like she. If you had like 3 things, what does this lady do for a living? Death matches would be the first one to say, "Nah." This one, yes, she'd get the check, but the other one, nobody would check death matches on the other one.
Death match wrestling, modeling, attractive soccer mom.
There you go. So we got the referee. Is that goggles he got on?
Yeah. We got the reffing goggles. I worked at a show a couple weeks ago. Won't call out, but for some reason the ref had mechanics gloves.
Maybe he had a bad rash. He didn't want to spread it.
I just think he's a big fan of Sting.
Oh man, that's funny.
He came out with gloves on. I go, "Who's bleeding?"
Yeah.
Somebody bleeding?
Oh man. And they still. Well, I noticed that Denham took their robes off. They wore them into the ring. You figure you took them off. You know, they both.
They gotta get the championship introduction, man.
Yeah.
This is Combat Toyoda's last match. We're getting it all in.
Dude, her facial expression hasn't changed at all since she left the dressing room.
I'd be really scared to throw that.
I would too.
Throw your jacket out, it just explodes.
Say you might hit one of the explosions that fell off earlier in the show that they didn't clean up, and he lands on it and blows your rope to pieces.
Both these women out here in their spandex.
But like I said, you didn't see, especially in the first few whatever of this stuff, people wore their gear, except like I said for Pogo, but that was his thing at the time. We got a lock up in a death match.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think you're going to see more in this match that we didn't see with Pogo and Anita. We're going to see a little bit of wrestling.
I'm really shocked that's a lockup. Lock them back up. It's a good lockup. They're struggling. She turned back her to the barbed wire and she's fighting. Yeah, I like that where she threw her. She fell. She used everything she had to get her up to push her back. She's smaller.
Really bothers me. So I'm looking at Combat Toyota's gear and it's amazing. But right in the neckline, she had them put in a CT and rhinestones, and it looks like a 12-year-old.
Somebody broke up the bedazzler.
Yeah, or maybe like she got the gear in and she's like, I love it. Oh, it doesn't have my initials on it. Let me put this in with my bedazzler because the rest of the gear is amazing.
Yeah, it's all designed work, and then I noticed that too. Yeah. Oh, dang! Guy in the crowd, he's like, "What the crap?" He's just sitting there.
I'm assuming she was one of the wrestlers' husband.
Maybe, I don't know. Oh, big headbutt. She didn't do no Anita headbutts. She put her hands up. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
but that kick was a little wild. Oh, that CT bothers me.
It does, man. It's so bad. Oh, there we go.
It just stands out from all the rest of the gear. All the rest of the gear looks so good.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is kind of out of place.
And Kudo's gear, we're about at the final years that looks cool.
What's that?
We're about at the final years that Kudo's gear looks cool. You know what I mean? The bright, like I look at that and I think 80s wrestler. So we're at the final years that you can get away with that.
Oh, that's 90s.
Yeah, but once we hit like 96, everyone was wearing black.
No, not women. Women still had some color in them. Oh, it was barbed wire again. Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't understand how they do the gimmick. If they hook the barbed wire up to a car battery and you hit it and it sparks.
I don't know. Please find out. Maybe. I don't know.
I know I've worked for promotions that's done them. I've never been. Well, excuse me. I've seen barbed wire electrified cage matches.
Okay, she said drop toe, float her to a headlock in a death match. What the crap, man?
I just say you're not going to see a tackle drop down and get it again.
No, I don't know. Well, you never know. Who knows? But it won't be. She won't run and hit the ropes to come back.
But no, I like it. It's just showing psychology. She's holding the headlock so that she can't be slung into the ropes.
Well, she's trying to wear her down.
Judging from the interview segment that we had at the beginning, they're not coming into this hot. That's the thing. I guess that's the thing about a deathmatch promotion. It's like not all these death matches are because of blood feuds. Some are just, hey, these are matches that we have to do with.
Like last week's it was coming in off from a.
Oh yeah, for years, the Pogo needed blood feud.
But they had just worked before, and Pogo went over, so that was him returning the favor. Uh-oh, she going for a slam? Oh, nice slam.
Well, that had been the finish.
Like that. I like that. I think people paid for this would have been mad. A strong kick out. Yeah, that bedazzler thing just kills me. If you wish I'd noticed it, but I didn't think of it too, how bad it was. You really made me think how bad it is. Oh, test of strength. Oh, shoots leg. Yeah, this has been a wrestling match. I'm shocked.
Yeah, well,
I guess
crazy.
But I'm sure it's going to get crazy. But she's trying to kick her into the. Oh! She's fighting it. Oh, she's trying to kick her into the rope. She keeps fighting it off. Whoa! Oh, she's going all over the place except for the ropes. She's like, okay, I got to rethink my strategy here.
I would have finished it up with a body slam. I'd have been like, these people mean nothing to me.
Well, it makes sense because if you're going to go 20-something minutes, there's no way they could have went into the barbed wire just right off the mat like the men did, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
because all in all, the men went 10 minutes in the ring.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
And 4 of that was Anita trying to get back in the ring.
Here we go. Whoa. 1, 2. I rolled her up. Whoa, I think she missed her on that kick.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, nice slam. Power slam. You know, they'd be like, oh, nobody got the barbed wire. Somebody's going to get it here in a minute. I have a feeling.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's fixing to happen. They've done milked it. They've been milked it 2 or 3 times a piece going into it. So, we're going to headbutts. That'll do it. Here it goes. Well, no, she blocked it. Oh, look at him. That's good. She's doing all she can do to fight it. No, you're going to lose. No, struggling, but there we go. Is she going to get her? Oh, kick in the gut. Oh, there it goes. Oh, oh, dang.
Got everybody started.
Oh, man.
Look at
that was
back.
Good. Her singlet or whatever, it's got some burn spot on. You see it?
Yeah, so I don't know. I think this was the one Foley was talking about in his book where her singlet ended up at some places fusing to her skin.
Yeah. Wow. She's got some color running down her arm. Oh, what we got here? Oh, that looked kind of could have been dangerous.
Somebody was doing maybe a little bit. Somebody was doing that one-arm power bomb on one of the main shows and just kept killing people.
It was safe, but you could tell it could have been bad. Once you got up in the backbreaker.
Argentina
Spin around. Oh, the airplane spin. Oh, that was nice.
I thought she was going to let go and do that Cesaro gimmick.
Sweet, I wish they let him come back and do the no hands airplane spin. You know?
Yeah,
they let him do that. Yeah, New York gets the look at the burn the whatever on her, not her, the black powder, whatever. I don't know what. She's got black stuff, debris on her arms. Oh, she's a little heavy to be on them hamstrings, ain't she?
Yeah, I hate being put in a surfboard. It just until they roll back, there's so much pressure on you.
Yeah, or all the weight's on your hamstrings. I mean, she's got her extended up really good. She's up high. That's a nice one right there.
Yeah, these two work really well together.
They've had a really good wrestling match.
I thought for a minute we're about to see the lucha roll onto the belly and back up into the surfboard.
There we go, another backbreaker. Nope. Oh, she slides down. Oh, an arm drag. Arm drag. She dropped toe holds. Arm drag in a death match. But this the way, the old Memphis barbed wire. That's where they used to work it. You never. Whoa! Put the brakes on. Oh man, she ate it. Oh gosh, she laid up in that, didn't she?
Yep.
Hey, there's Anita wearing a suit. At least a suit jacket.
Hey, it's got the denim dress shirt on.
But a suit jacket. When have you ever seen that? Boy, she flat backed up in that thing, didn't she? Man.
Pretty crazy to have the Deathmatch King watching your Deathmatch front row in a suit.
Yeah, that's big time. Look where she hit that. Look at the barbed wire is sagging.
Oh,
she went all into that. Look, she's still hooked to it. Oh, she was still hooked to it. You see that? Oh my gosh, she was still hooked to her butt. Dang. Sleeper. Going for the sleeper. Yeah, she just went.
That's a terrible sleeper hold.
Was it more of is it a choke though?
The way she's hooked is so weird.
I don't think it's sleeper. I think it's a choke.
It's like a bar choke.
I think you're just choking her.
Yeah, that's a straight bar choke.
Yeah, that's not a sleeper. I thought it was a sleeper at first. She's just trying to choke her out. They both got juice on their arms from the barbed wire. I don't know if I want to grab it for a rope break. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? You forget if you go for a rope break and you grab it, it blows you.
I think they're trying to tell the story of trying to roll her into it.
Okay. Oh, look at her arm. It's just gushing. Oh, Enziguri. Nice. What's she got on that dragon sleeper or whatever it is?
Yep.
Is that what they call that? Is this an outdoor stadium?
It's Kawasaki Stadium. I don't know if it's outdoor or not.
Because that's wind's blowing pretty good. I've noticed it. At times you see gusts of wind blowing their hair. It must be. She's leaning back on that.
It is outdoor, yeah.
Yeah. Oh! That looked snug in the back of the head, didn't it?
I didn't see it. I was looking at Kawasaki Stadium.
Okay, sorry. Okay, the ref's got the goggles. Does he ever put them on? They're at the top on his forehead.
I noticed they're on his forehead. I don't know why they're
not. Oh, she's like, I'm not taking another bump into that. Let's try to get the people up. Come on, clap. Is she out? No. Uh-oh, underhook. What we got here? Nope, not today, sister. There you go. I was like, it'd be hard. It wouldn't look too real. There we go. Oh, it didn't blow up.
No, we got a dud on that side.
Or did she already hit that?
I don't think that's the side I don't think it is.
Oh, but it's in her arm. Oh, it's in her arm. Oh, the barbed wire was in her arm. Oh, dude. Somebody's going to get fired because it didn't even blow up. What a bridge. Holy smoke.
Beautiful high German suplex into a bridge.
What about that bridge from the big girl? Wow. Another something you didn't think you'd see in a death match, man. Wow, what a bridge. Uh-oh. What you got here? Power bomb? Nope. DDT. Nice. Kick out.
That right shoulder was never even down anyway, but.
Ooh, that arm is nasty. She got that arm good. Here we go. What we got here? Suplex. Yeah. Ooh, nice.
Little Northern Lights action.
Yeah, that's nice. She can't keep the big girl down. Oh, excuse me. That was loud. Sorry. I went to talk and a burp flew out. Sorry about that, folks. She's going to give her another kick. Now close. Whoa, here we go. Oh, folded her up pretty good. This is going to be it. 2. Boy, they're doing these. They're both just kicking out right at the last minute. Boy, this is good. Uh-oh. Ooh. She kind of hooked her kind of weird, didn't she? That was weird looking.
Yeah, she hooked through the thighs. It was very strange.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you have a good grip when you do that.
Yeah. All right. What we got here? We're going for Another variation of a suplex or something here. Oh, she got her up. What's she gonna do to her? Oh, that was a rough landing.
Yeah,
Two.
double
Mm.
underhook bomb, and you keep the arms hooked when you like razor's edge them.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it done like that before.
I haven't either. It seems like a shoulder dislocation ready to happen.
Yeah, say it should make you really get hurt on that, but it's Japan. They don't care. That's a badge of honor. I got my shoulder blade over here on the back of my neck. Thank you very much. Honor. Oh, she's calling for something. Is it her finisher or something? Well, she's done powerbombed her 27 times, so it couldn't be her finisher. Kicked out again. Wow.
Just the fact that Oni is watching this is cool.
Yeah, it's giving it credibility that the big man's watching their match. You know, and he's good stuff.
I think they're delivering too.
They are. They're actually having a match. Here we go. With another. Whoa, man! They're both kicking out right at two, right after two, right after he goes on for the three. They're kicking out. She went to the powerbomb one too many times. She sunset her on that. Was good. She done powerbombed what 4 times?
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, so that was good. Toyota's firing up. She's ready to take her out. Oh, nope. Oh. There they go to the barbed wire again. Milking it.
Looks like they're milking a German into the barbed wire.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. It's kind of, Yep, elbows. Here we go. Ooh, somebody should go into it. Here she goes. Oh, oh gosh, they both in the rope. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes, what a bump. Look at him, he's selling it for him. He's selling it. Look, that's good. Wow. Dude, that was crazy right there.
Onita knew what he was doing, man.
Man, what a crazy bump. They both went at the barbed wire. Wow. And man, that's by him selling, that's putting it over with the people watching. It's like, if he's selling it, it's big time, you know?
Yeah, if he's worried about it, oh my God, I need to be.
Yeah. That was crazy. That was a crazy bump to take into that. Ooh, wow. They're both selling it like they've been blown up by That's why this is crazy, but the selling of it is so good. It ain't like nowadays where, registered it. They're selling it.
Somebody would have been tied up in that barbed wire by now. They've hit it 3 times.
Oh, yeah. Be covered in blood and but there'd be no selling it. Because that was a bad bump they just took both of them took in that barbed wire. And look at them. They're like they're on the verge of dying, They're having to get each other to get up. They can't get up on by their sets. They're using each other to try to get up. That's a good sell job right here. This is really good. I can watch stuff like this when it's work. They working with each other and they're sell. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's she gonna do? I don't know how she's gonna have the strength to get her for that. Oh, underhooks here. What's she gonna try to do it? Oh, she got her. That's it. No, she kicked out. Oh my gosh.
Yep, double underhook powerbomb, kicked out.
Wow. And it took everything she had to do it too. Look, she is spent. Toyota selling it. She is down. I think that's a burn on her arm right there.
I think so too.
I think that's a burn. Wow. Oh, Kudo's back up. And when they get up, they're still just wobbly, selling like, nobody hops up from nothing. She go for the power bomb. Oh gosh, she just dropped her head. Oh my gosh, she dropped her on her head. Did you see that? Oh,
Gonzo bomb. I don't know if it was an inadvertent Gonzo bomb, but it was a Gonzo.
Dude, she dropped her right on the back of her head. Wow. She kicked out. Oh my gosh. That's brutal. But still, look at her. I like how she's still selling. She's still wobbling. Even though she's the first one up, she's still wobbly. Oh, she's going for what's it?
The Kudo driver.
Oh, here we go. Oh, man, she just dropped on her head. That's it. Wow. Dang. She dropped her on her head back-to-back times. That's how she got her. So they had one each in the barbed wire, and then they both took the big bump in it.
Yep. And that was it.
That's good. Yeah. They wrestled all in between. They milking it. So when they did hit it, it meant something. Look at her. She's there. Kudo can't even get up. She's so spent. She's just laying on top of her. See, nowadays that bit going, she can't even get up to celebrate. Look at her. Now, so I can watch the stuff when they sell it like they've been killed because You know, look, she fell down again selling. That's great. Shoda's like, I have no neck. I didn't have much of a neck to begin with. I definitely don't have one now. She's still sitting there selling on the mat. She can't even stand up and get her hand raised. You know, this match wasn't gory. It told a story. And here's Onita in the ring. Wow. And he's in there selling it. Get him some help. Come on, get him help. He's mad. Nobody's helping him.
So
What's he throwing? He's mad. He threw something twice. Threw something down. So I can get that barbed wire so I can get in there and help him. The bucket. Oh gosh. Dang. He's throwing water on him like stiff.
That's like that's like having a Noki go to the ring and slap you.
Yeah. Well, yes, he's slapping Toyota. You see it? He's slapping Toyota. Look.
Grabbing her and moving her around by the neck.
But he's you got the king of the death matches in here. It's showing he's more than just worried. He's what's the word I'm looking for?
Concerned.
Very concerned about their health here. You know, the guy's he's been smacked her like 20 times. As I have no neck, quit smacking me, please.
So this took place on May 5th. Let's see, when was it here?
97.
Combat Toyoda had her retirement ceremony later that year on June 28th, but this was her last match. And no, this was 96.
96. Yeah, the concern of him in there is that's even selling it more to the people. You know? Ooh, nasty cut. I think is that the burn. I think it's the cut, and I think it's a burn on the elbow down toward the forearm. Wow.
And a big thing on how influential this match was. So next year at FMW's 8th anniversary show, Kudo would announce her own retirement, and she would wrestle in the main event of the 8th anniversary show, defeating Shark Tsuchiya in a no-rope 200-volt double-held, double barbed wire barricade, double landmine crushed glass electric barbed wire death match.
Okay, so they carried out Kudo on a stretcher. Onita just is saddled back and Toyota back to the back by himself.
He's the man.
But I'm just saying, it's putting it over. Oh, did he just drop her?
No, but she is slipping.
And it's putting it over even more that he's concerned about him, you know? I guess I only had one stretcher in the whole place.
Well, I mean, did you see it? It was one of those cloth between two stick jobs.
Yeah, it's the old time World War I, World War II stretcher gimmicks. Now he's having a little trouble carrying her back. She's sliding down.
She got a death grip on that arm.
That one arm, yeah, but she can't lock them in because it look. He's like, I can't do this. We gotta take a break. He's like, can I get some help? I'm blowed up to carry her back. If it's a stadium, that's a long haul.
No, he brought her to the people.
Yeah, especially if that's her last match. Yeah, that's what he did, so people can
think about the platform that Onita's given the women here. It didn't happen in Japan at that time. The main top shows, New Japan and All Japan, no women.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time.
You know, and it wasn't like this was an all ladies show. You know what I mean? Like they had the All Japan and stuff like that.
Yeah, this was the whole promotion.
This was a main event of the entire show, and then next year the women would 100% headline.
That's crazy. Wow.
You know, they talked about, what was it, WrestleMania a couple of years ago. First time women headlined WrestleMania, and it wasn't the first time they headlined a big giant show.
All right, that's it. Cut off. Wow, that was really good.
Yeah, it probably wasn't as wild as last week's,
but you know, last week's was, I don't know. This definitely had more wrestling.
It did.
So you know it. All right, yeah, that's that. This match was not what I was thinking it was going to be. Like last week's, I was shocked how they told a story. They worked things. This really they really worked it. The selling was good again. I might start watching some more of these early deathmatch stuff, you know, and because it ain't what I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more wrestling oriented than probably the traditional death match. And honestly, that's probably why I picked it. I told you off camera that I was originally going to pick the one against Shark from the following year. But I think I wanted to pull it back just a little bit because I think they go a little crazier in that shark death match.
I think from what just what I've gathered, I guess the more years it got crazier as the years went on. The way it looks, but some of the titles I've seen on the gimmicks,
and that's kind of how you had to, right? Because you can't regress in the level of extreme you go.
Yeah. I guess when you're doing, you wouldn't really have to really push the envelope that much if you were doing it like once a year. But when when you're full-time promotion and you're doing, so you're going to have to keep on adding something new every.
Yeah.
But like last week's, this is right there beside it, really good. Like I said, this had more wrestling. I got the burps tonight, man. But some really good wrestling, and I loved how they just kept milking the roast. Like the men, they went pretty much right into it. But the women, they went a little longer, so they had to milk it. But it wasn't just total milk. It was milk it, wrestle,
Yeah.
And some of the milking was wrestling. You were wrestling the milk, something like that. Where
What?
that didn't sound. You know what I meant?
You're wrestling the milk.
You know what I meant? I mean, I didn't sound. You're. Leave that to me. Say something just totally nonsensical stupidness. But anyway, you know what I meant. Why is there pictures of us flashing in your background?
I don't know. I'm trying new things out on Zoom and laughing at you saying wrestling milk.
There's like all sudden up pictures of us pumping up behind you. I used to go to Game Ridge. Hey, look, I'm an emu. But I mean, you know what I mean? They were milking it. They were milking where they were trying to put them in it just directly, and they were wrestling, and it was milking toward. You know what I'm saying?
I get the gist of what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. You know what I meant. What I'm saying. You know what I meant, but because usually you don't see it. It's just they milk, just trying to push them into it or whatever. They were actually wrestling each other. Milking toward. It was good. I liked it. It was really good. They sold so good. The ending, the way they were selling was just crazy. Where was Anita on the show? When did he work? It had to be toward the front.
I didn't see him in any of the mains. I don't believe.
No.
Let me pull up.
It wouldn't have been because he was dressed.
Yeah, he was dressed and not bleeding.
I mean, he had on, was it blue jeans, a nice dress, a nice sports coat, and had a denim shirt, button-up denim underneath.
Yeah, well, here, let's go over the card because there's some interesting names on here. Opening match, Jason the Terrible defeated Nanjio Hayato.
Was that Tracy?
I don't know. Tracy was usually Jason the Terrible, and that this time would line up. So
yeah.
All right, I regret to go over these names. Kaparita Asari and Yumi Fukawa defeated Kaori Nakayama and Aki Kenbayashi in a tag team match. Six-man tag match. Kamikaze, Katsutoshi Niyama, and Wild Shooter. I like that random name. Wild Shooter.
Yeah, how about those names? The Wild Shooter.
Beat Daisuke Ikeda, Soichi Funaki, and Tetsuhiro Kuroda. Now, here's an interesting six-man tag team match. The Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, and Ricky Fuji defeated the Crypt Keeper, the Boogeyman, and Freddy Krueger.
So Freddy was Doug Gilbert.
Most likely.
Yeah. And I'm sure the other two were Americans too. Sure.
Let's see. There's a tag team match. Ryuma Go and Samurai Max defeated Mai Jin and Silver X. Singles match for the FMW Independent World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Takamichi Noko defeated Koji Nakagawa. And here's where we start getting weapons gimmick matches. A street fight. Chigusa Nagayo defeated Shark Tsuchiya. Six-man tag match. Hideki Hosaka, Hito, and Mitsuhiro Matsunaga defeated Miguel Perez, Shoji Nakamaki, and Toru. or Toriu, excuse me. But Miguel Perez randomly popping up.
Yeah. Well, he worked. Well, Perez did work a lot for Wing. I remember him. He did a lot of stuff for Wing.
Here's some names. Street Fight for the inaugural FMW World Street Fight 6-man Tag Team Championship. Super Leather and the Headhunters A and B. So who had Super Leather? Which one was that? That wasn't Tony Myers, was it?
No, Tony. No, not this time period. No, he's still in Memphis then.
And it wasn't Corporal Kirshner.
No, I don't.
Because he was the original Leatherface, right?
Yeah.
So it was whoever the guy was in the middle. Defeated Hisatsu Oya, Horace Boulder, and the Gladiator. Mike Awesome.
Well, they were a tag team. They were in a 6-man on that last match we watched last week on that show. They were on that card.
Let's see. Then the next match number 10, Caribbean Barbed Wire Barricade Spider Net Glass Deathmatch for the IWA King of the Deathmatch Championship. Cactus Jack defeated Wing Kanamura. Then we have this match. And then in the last match, 1 million yen, no ropes, exploding barbed wire, double hell, exploding death match. Mr. Pogo and Terry Funk defeated Hayabusa and Masato Tanaka.
So Nita didn't work?
Not at all. Nope.
Okay. But still, him being at ringside and the way he was selling during the match and that worried face, and then at the end, he was in there yelling at people to come on and get in there and help him get the barbed wire, taking it, get the water and everything. Him selling that made, like you're saying, for him to be worried, it made it put it over even more,
Oh, and a Super Leather was Corporal Kirshner.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. I wonder why he was called Super Leather. Is one he just Leatherface in IWA?
I believe so. If I remember the story right, because I believe Foley writes it in his book.
Is there a copyright thing or something?
No, Corporal Kirshner went to jail for a while, if I remember right.
I remember that, yeah.
And somebody else replaced him, and then they brought back the original, but as Super Leather.
Super Leather, gotcha. All right.
Because they just slid the original in like it never changed.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, makes sense.
and the other guy's name, Rick Patterson.
Yeah, Rick Patterson. Yeah, remember that name? Rick Patterson.
So wild, crazy, giant shows.
Rick Patterson. Wasn't he from California? I think so.
I don't know because his name isn't highlighted on Wikipedia, so I have no idea anything about him.
I think he and what's the guy? I tell you, I can remember stuff, but I'm starting to have trouble with names now. I can remember the gimmicks and the stuff they did. Bill, was it Bill? What was the guy, the young kid back? Well, you won't know. Back in the 70s, that was Chris Colt, valet.
No idea.
Chris Colt and Rene Dupree. Well, not Rene Dupree, but whatever his tag team boyfriend's name. I can't remember what his name was. Something Dupree and Bill. What was his name? Anyway, but I think he was his partner in California for a long time, and I think they all went over there and worked for FMW. And the guy I'm thinking about, he actually wore a mask when he worked over there. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I remember the guy's name here, like later on. But yeah, I remember saw a story where he was like 14. He went on the road with Colt and Dupree, and like his parents like found out and threw a fit because he was like underage riding up down the road with two homosexuals, in the 70s. That's
and two guys who were into a lot of illicit activity.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of drug use.
Chris Colt was the gimmick guy before gimmick guys were a thing.
Another guy ahead of his time. Another guy, it probably could have had a bigger career if he didn't have the drug baggage.
Absolutely.
But then again, was that what made him so good? So it's one of those, because you'd see him, some time periods. He had a little weight on him, and then sometimes he wouldn't. But he was, yeah. And Fuller made him a German in Continental. Was it 85? Chris Von Colt. He made him a German. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
we're still talking about World War II in '85.
Hey, some places Alabama, you'd still get heat being a German in the 80s.
Oh, I mean, when I first started in '05, there was a Nazi going around.
I've been a Nazi going on for a long time. Same one. Oh, then there was two. And then it became two. So, hey, whatever works.
I think that gimmick's finally done.
Yeah, I think so. The Russian gimmick's pretty much done. Nazi gimmick's done.
Especially the out and out blatantness of the gimmick. Like you can still do a Russian gimmick, but it's not. We're doing this for the Kremlin. It's just a super Russian super athlete, like they did with Rusev originally, Bulgarian Russian.
But that's totally different.
They did with Vladimir Kozlov. You know what I mean?
That's totally different Russian gimmick, though. It's not the
This is the Soviet super athlete.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's a totally different gimmick.
Communism.
Yeah, so it's totally different gimmick. I mean, only thing you get tied in is Russia. That's the only tied connection they got. Basically.
Yeah.
But
Russia and they're all being treated like they are. Oh God, what was? I forgot the villain from Rocky. I forgot his character name. Dolph Lundgren's the actor, but I forgot the character name.
I know. Oh my gosh. I could have told you because they showed it on Gutfeld.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren. What'd you say at first?
That's what I said, Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. They actually showed it was on a segment. They did it. They were talking on Gutfeld the other night. They flashed up the picture and talked about it. So I shouldn't remember what he called him. Wow, what was I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Well, another one that's played out really is the Japanese, Banzai.
Ivan Drago.
Drago, there you go.
Yeah. But no, yeah, you're right.
The Japanese Banzai's played out. I tell you another one that's actually played out and it didn't get much life was the terroristic Middle Eastern person. They didn't get a good run in wrestling. Year-wise is as much as the Germans, the Russians, and the Japanese.
No, I mean, you're right. So if you consider, I don't know, when you consider because I mean, they've had sheiks forever.
But it wasn't that terrorist. They were crazy.
Well, if you're going by that, they only had since 9/11, 2001. And then.
No. You had, when they killed, because Iraq used to be very westernized. But then Iran.
If you're talking that, then you had Slaughter, and that was one of the biggest runs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you had, that's what I'm saying. You had like a 20-year really run, of.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. So you're talking about the length wasn't that long, whereas people were getting milk out of the German Nazi gimmick for 40 years.
Yeah.
Past the war. I get that. Okay. Yeah, I get that. And you're right. The one that does still work, the stereotype gimmick, as we'll call it, that still works. Posh British guy.
We've always hate the British. We always will.
It's not the British. It's posh British.
Most people from British are arrogant.
You don't know a lot of British people, do you?
I'm just saying that.
The answer is no, folks.
Listen, no. I'm thinking mark-wise. I'm saying, how many people somewhere in Alabama know a British guy? They don't. So what they see is all they know is smug British people. That's the stereotype. I'm just saying. No, the only few British people I ever met were hilarious, nice, awesome people. But what I'm saying is that stereotype of probably the only thing they might have met one in their whole lifetime. If they're like, what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I go with you. But that's what I'm saying. That's the only stereotype gimmick that still kind of works. Like, come in and be the British gentleman or the posh British guy who's going to tell Americans how to live right. And for some reason, the pro-Canadian gimmick still works.
Really?
I've yet to see why people at these small town Southern shows hate Canadians so bad. But if a heel Canadian comes out and talks about how great Canada is,
there you go. That's the thing.
It's so dumb.
Oh yeah, but you gotta get yourself on down to the level of what they're thinking. So it's I don't know. It's hard to explain. Now it's like the South. I mean, you could have somebody come down. You work in Podunk, Mississippi, and you come down there wearing Yankee stuff and have a Brooklyn accent, and and just start down and you cheap heat in the South, you'll get over like crazy.
Well, the South's always going to be different because 2014, I'm working Satoshi Kojima, and the crowd chanting USA at him, and I'm like, he did nothing. he did nothing but come out,
but he's not from here
and be Japanese.
Well, chanting USA is a little different from chanting,
No, it's not, and it's hilarious when they do it. And no one in the match is American. That's always my favorite.
What?
When no one in the match is American, but they chant USA.
Do they do that? Do they know the person's not American?
I've seen them do it when the baby faces are Canadian.
Do they know they're actually Canadian in real life?
Yes, I've seen this done with like, oh God, I think Edge and Christian working babyface against Foreign Heels, and I've also seen it done with the Bushwhackers working Foreign Heels, and it's hilarious, especially the Bushwhackers, because the Bushwhackers are like, all right, whatever, USA.
They're gonna go with it.
Yeah, it's
That's
tremendous.
hilarious.
I love it. But I love trope wrestling stuff like that.
That's what made wrestling. I mean, I don't know. It's always been entertainment, but it's been as I say, you look at cars from the 70s, even up to the early 80s. You had a variety. You had some comedy. You had some hokiness. You had some blood and guts, some seriousness, whatever. I can't even talk. It was a variety. Then you have an opening match that meant nothing, but after it was over, it was like, man, that was a good match. And it depends on the finish. It match on meant nothing, but look, put the heel over and got a little heat going. But you know what I'm saying? And you had comedy. I mean, think about it. Mid-Atlantic, you'd have Flair against Piper in the main event. Semi or underneath that, fifth match would be Jimmy Valiant against somebody. So you had totally different than your main event, which is going to be Piper and Flair is just going to be off the charts. You know what I'm saying? So.
Piper and Flair is going to be off the charts, but wild at the same time. I love watching Piper Flair matches.
But just what I'm saying though is, so people say it was so serious. No, wrestling has always been a variety. I mean, you even watch some old '50s matches. Where the announcer try to bury everybody. You'd have comedy in it. Some matches would be comedy. You'd always have the big fat guy, and there's always been variety. Now, what kind of varieties? To an extent, some places did a little, to get to different levels of variety and stuff. But there's always been variety. Like I said, I think that's why I like AEW, because there's all shapes and sizes. Good, bad, or ugly. It's like I said, I don't care for some of the matches, but I'll watch it because it's different characters. Not everybody's either 6'4" jacked or 5'8" and jacked. It reminds me of the territory days where all shapes and sizes. Now, once I get in the ring, they all do the same stuff. It's a little different, but I'm starting to come around on Eddie Kingston because I guess because I see so much flips on there, and then all he does is punch and kick and back fist people and chop them, and so I'm actually coming around to his. That's why he works, But yeah, it's there's always been variety. How did we get onto this?
I don't know, but I'm gonna use this segue here since we're talking about old antiquated gimmicks and things of the past. We went to a wrestling reunion this past Saturday.
Yes, we did.
After you saying for weeks that you weren't going to go.
I wasn't. I had plans up until 3 days before. So I had my I've changed my plans. So I wanted to go from day one, but I had plans. So then I rearranged my plans. I'm glad I did. I had some fun.
Yeah,
I wish I could have.
We made our trek down to Columbia, Tennessee, and had quite the turnout. I think they said just over 100 people there.
101.
Yeah, 101. Had some barbecue, some good times catching up with people.
Some good banana pudding.
I didn't have any.
Well, I heard the Rice Krispie treats are pretty good.
Yeah, that's what Bugs Up told us. He said those Rice Krispie treats were amazing.
Yeah,
out of this world.
I think Chris Colt made those.
Yeah, those may have been a little special. Man, it was a blast. I didn't expect it to be so many people that I actually ran around with, which was cool. It's really cool to see people from my generation and the vets that were still around in my generation. How many of them popped back up?
Yeah, I liked. I love the old school reunion we do, old timers. Don't get me wrong, that's still my favorite. But this, I was, I was a little hesitant on how would I enjoy it, because a lot of people, especially the last few years I was in the wrestling business, I don't like too many people, so I was wondering how I was gonna, but when I got there and it just is different. Everybody was, nobody held grudges. Everybody was friendly. Everybody seemed genuine. Yeah.
Yeah, the vibe from the get-go was a vibe of let's have a good time and reconnect. And I
that's what Shane said at the very beginning when he, told he was doing this. If you're going to start trouble, you're not welcome. And it's like the old timers thing. I'm sure there's some old timers that probably don't like each other, but you wouldn't know it. And I was a little worried. Not even on my part. Just I know some people there. It's wrestling business. You're always gonna have people don't like each other for some stupid reason, or it might be a reason to be justified not to like somebody. But everybody put everything aside and was I thought it made. I hate it that I pretty much stayed one spot. There was people that I didn't know was there until later I saw pictures that I would have loved to talk to. There's just so many people in there. I didn't know Larry Valentine was there. Did you?
Yeah. Larry popped in for a little while.
I did not know he was until later on. So I saw some pictures. I was like, Larry Valentine. I'd like to saw Larry Valentine. And and it's good. Because like I said, the old timers, they have a cutoff, and there's some guys that are stuck that actually came in at the very end there and get left out, even though they worked a lot with the old timers. They just, they're missing by a few years. So they got the old school mentality, but they're not able to go to the old timers. They got to come to this one. So it was good seeing some of those guys. So, like Eron Hatchet, I hadn't seen him in forever. It was good catching up with him, a little bit talking to him. And, I never hardly get to see my buddy, my old tag team partner, Farron. It was good catching up with him, and just, people I hadn't seen in a long time, just catching up with them was, like I said, I didn't walk around, pretty much stayed in one spot, but, I seen a lot of guys young guys, that I seen from afar, I wish I would have, said hi to them, but, I never got, because like I said, I stayed in one spot, but, I didn't get to look at the memorabilia Shane brought. I wanted to look at it, but never got a chance to, but, it just, I don't know. It seemed, it was, it was good. Like I said, there was no grudges, nobody showing out, being stupid, acting stupid, So, and there's people drove a long way too. And, it's good seeing Rick McCord. It's always good to see him. Do you know he's 67 years old? Don't look at that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's like he's like maybe late 50s, maybe mid 50s. I mean, he don't look that. He's 67. He'll turn 68 this year.
Yeah, keeps himself in real good shape. Jack, tan. He's always waiting for the next one. Never know when that phone's about to ring, Daddy.
He's got that Dennis Stamp theory. You never know when it's going to ring.
Hey, man. Chicky Donovan's still out here taking bookings. So's Action Jackson, baby.
But yeah, it's always good to talk to Rick McCord. And I wish people would pick his brain, because people don't realize he's worked everywhere. He started off with Goulas, worked in the Goulas office for Goulas at Goulas, in the office when he started out in the 70s. Went to the Poffos. He started with the Poffos when they first started up. He was with them for 3 years. I mean, come on. You think of the stories he could tell about the Popovers, especially when they were first starting out, And then he worked Florida. He worked actually he left the Popovers and went worked Mid Atlantic. Worked for Mid Atlantic. Went to Florida. Did a little short stay. After he left Mid Atlantic, he went to in between. Well, he kind of did Mid Atlantic and Memphis for Jarrett. Then he went to Florida. Did a short run for Continental. He went out to Texas All Star, which had just changed from Southwest Texas All Star. Went worked World Class and worked for Watts. He worked everywhere, And I didn't know this until a few months ago. He was on the card where Lawler and Kaufman, where he pile drive Kaufman. He worked that show. He was on the card. I didn't realize that. So I saw a thing on it, and I looked at the card for that night, and he worked that show. So he was on the Lawler Kaufman show. He didn't work, but he was at Starcade. And if you look at the celebration inside the cage, you'll see Rick McCord there with a nice sweater, same-side Brickhouse Brown. So he's Mid Atlantic. He didn't get to work the show because they didn't have they wasn't they only had like 6 or 7 matches that night, so it wasn't like the nowadays where they have like 20 matches. But he was there, he was there that night. Yeah, he's got a lot of story, that I don't think people realize because he never was a main eventer. He was that opening mid card guy, but he was there every week. You know what I'm saying? Year after year after year. So I think a lot of people. I think somebody needs to sit down with him and pick his brain and stuff and get some stories and stuff. So.
I would love if someone did this, and I don't think a reunion is the best setting for it, but I think for somebody, if they would do speakers or interviews with people like that, of the older time, especially as the older generation, the numbers grow less and less, you know what I mean? Especially if you're going to do a reunion like this one is with multiple generations, I think it would be cool to pick the really old timers' minds, because a lot of these really old timers, like, they don't come around the shows and hang out anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they don't have that opportunity because they're not working anymore. They don't have that opportunity to get their minds picked. But I think you said, there would be some really good stories and some really good advice possibly given out.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And so interesting else seen there, I hadn't seen in forever. I'm sure I'll think of it later, but there's a few people I haven't seen in a long time. It's always good to see Rick Reynolds. He was there. Like I said, he comes with the old timers though. I see him at that one. But
while we're talking about people, let's definitely really give a shout out and put over Shane and Virginia Morton for doing all the work of putting this together.
Oh gosh, yes, most definitely. Yeah, Shane went above and beyond because he had it set up, nice. That's the thing about I like how he had it set. He had tables, the tables and all that was chairs. I like that. Because like it's the old timers, we have no tables, we have chairs, so you're gonna eat. I hate trying to eat and hold your plate and stuff. So that was a plus. I really like that. And he had a microphone and speaker so you could hear better. He said it, and all that food. He had tons of food. I mean, that wasn't cheap, Yep. That wasn't cheap because he rented all those tables and chairs, right?
So some were donated from their church.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But still, he had to go get them and all that. And still, that was a lot. There was a lot of money invested and a lot of time invested too. I know this is kind of like money situation, but since this is like I'm not saying. I mean, it's a money. I know it'd be a money thing. I think he probably would like to do it, but it might be a money thing. It might later down the road because he's already announced the date for next year. He announced the date, or he said he's going to have it.
He announced the date. Okay.
And he changed the name. It's what is the name?
The Right Way Wrestling Reunion.
Yeah, the Right Way. Okay. So I'm gonna suggest him. Like I said, I don't know money wise because I know on the old timers reunion, and then I noticed the plaque. They don't give out them little plaques. Those are big, nice plaques. So they spend money on those plaques because I know a lot of places you get a little bit. I mean, it's still cool. Most places get the little plaques, the little, tiny. They give out big plaques at the old timers and this one. I think I wish, I don't, I could, maybe we'll have set up a chip-in fund for it. But if he's going to do it every year, maybe have like give out, awards for like three generations of wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Not generation, but eras. You got like maybe you do your 60s and 70s.
You do it like comic books. You got your golden age, your silver age, and your bronze age.
Well, so you give out. I've always said I wish they would do it at the old timers but they just usually give out two. But this new one, they could do. Yeah, I think I would be cool. I think even if you had to make them smaller, maybe set up a bucket or something, or people chip in and get instead of just doing the one.
Or charge a due to go to the reunion.
You tear it out. It's wrestlers. You charge a due, you ain't gonna have no people show up.
I'm not saying a large amount, but
it's wrestlers. We're the tightest, most frugal. Maybe your generation, my generation, we ain't putting in a penny.
Spend money to make money, kid.
Like I said. But I know at the old timers, every now and then they put up a donation bucket. You want to put in a couple bucks or whatever.
That could be the due. I mean, it's just a donation. It could be as small as $1.
That's what I'm saying. If you said if you want to give $1, $20, $25, and that, or like at the old times, they said they put up a bucket. Some people I've seen put in a $5. I've seen people put in 10. I've seen people give 100. It just. I think if you said it, people are going to be like, it's just hey. I think if you say, you want to, all donations are accepted to help out.
Yeah.
Especially this new one because there's so many people and Shane's doing it all himself. The other one, there's 4 people involved. So, it helps the expense, but this is all Shane's baby. And after, that's a lot of money, man. He if he's want to do it yearly, definitely, I think needs to put a bucket out and, hey, donate what you can, and to make it big, and we'll make it bigger and better each year with the more money we collect, we can upgrade it more. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good thing Shane and Virginia are doing. I look forward to the reunion growing. I've wanted to ever since the first time I went down with you to the, as you call it, the old timers reunion. I've wanted something like that my generation felt accepted at.
Yeah.
And although there wasn't a lot of people from my generation there was a few, but although there wasn't a lot, I did feel the atmosphere was very accepting of them. And I was glad to see that because in my generation, when we broke in, a lot of us weren't really accepted by the old guard because when I broke in, it was kind of the last of the old guard. When
I broke in, I hear stories. People they made fun of me and a couple of other guys that broke in with me. We got made fun of and didn't care for us, but we were green. We learned and we got then we got accepted. So but from what I was told, it's kind of like that. The older timers are always kind of not pricks, but it's it's not just D-bags to you, but they're not just pulling up in the welcome wagon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more like you got to prove yourself. And I think it's just been passed down. Pretty much, it's non-existent nowadays. I think I don't know. I'm not around it, but that's from the last 10 years. And like that's what I've gotten.
It's still there for sure. If you're the new face in, but I will say it's not nearly like it was. There would be people, old vets for years who I'd swear hated me, and then all of a sudden they didn't.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, especially from like the 2000s on, I think they took me wrong. I think I got classified into that. It wasn't that I didn't.
You were a bit of a heat magnet.
But here's the thing.
Let's not forget, I've taken a punch for you.
I'm not sticking no punch.
No, I've taken a punch for you.
Oh, I'm probably took a bunch from me. But my thing is, though, okay, well, I don't think I treated the young guys bad because you know what? If you look, it's hard to look back because there's nothing, verify this. I worked with young guys so freaking much. If I hate them so bad, why was I working with them all the time? You know? I mean, good gosh, look at we worked at Tony's. That's all we worked was young guys.
Oh, the kids straight out training.
I mean, you know, okay, when I worked for Brian Cheatham, half his crew was, but Dieter Brock, if I hated green guys, new guys, why in the world would I want to say, hey, team me up with this guy right here? You know? I mean, no. Yeah, I mean, it just, because I think I got a bad, because I expect if you're going to work with me, I expect you to, even if you're green, just listen and want to learn, and no, I ain't gonna sit there and talk and be buddy, because I'm not a talker unless you get to know me. Then I open up and I can't shut up. But if I'm in the dressing room, I don't do a lot of talking. Was I known to be a talker in the dressing room?
No, not really.
A cut up, a river?
No.
I mean, I'm not going to go on my way to talk. Did you ever see me go on my way to talk to somebody?
Never.
That's just where I was. And I think I got a bad rap the late 90s, early 2000s, because I was working a lot of places, had a lot of green kids, and did I ever beat them up in the ring, take advantage of them? No. So how I got this bad rep, well, and here's another thing. I think because I wouldn't sugarcoat stuff. I tell you like it is. Our match sucked. I think you shouldn't have did that because it sucked. Don't do it again. So I get a bad rap all these years, If I didn't, if why was I out there working with these green kids every week trying to make them better if I didn't, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I think a lot of people look. I think and it's in wrestling you tell something it spreads like wildfire. So everybody thought I was toxic. New people coming in didn't like me. They think I was toxic.
Yeah, but how many times was it me and a whole group of green guys staying over at your apartment watching wrestling all night until we pass out and then wake up in the morning for the next shot?
Yeah, I mean,
and wake up watching wrestling all morning.
Yeah, I mean,
before we all go to a buffet and way overeat.
I know it just I get a bad rap about that because I spoke my mind and I told you, I said, if our match was bad or you did something, it's like actually at this reunion we talked about it with Kilo and GQ. They brought this young guy that's worked for Brian Cheatham back, was it 99, 2000, something like that. We were working at the Grand Slam in Smyrna, that big old building, that big high ceiling. They wanted this stupid spot where
indoor soccer field, correct?
Yeah, it's an indoor soccer field. So it had a real high ceiling, really high, like 30 feet at least, probably higher than that. It was huge.
Is this TKO?
Yes, it's TKO. Okay, they had this. There was this big long rope that hung off from one of the beams at the roof. He wanted to get up there, climb up all the way to the rafter on the rope, and jump off. Like it had to be over 30 feet. Because it was the very top of the building, and drop down and put Kilo through a table. So I'm sitting there watching it from back behind the curtain. He puts Kilo on the table. The table breaks. It's just like barely propped up on one side off the ground. He goes on and climbs all the way up, like I said, it's over 30 feet, and drops straight down. So there's like no give. So the table's just right there on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no like break the table and have it, to what a little bit of cushion there is between the table and the floor to stop. You know what I'm saying? You're dropping that far, but still, you need whatever bit you can get to help you, But there was no room hardly at all from between the table and the floor to help stop the momentum. You know what I'm saying? So he gets up there, and I was like, surely he's not going to do this. And sure enough, he climbs up there, comes down, and knocks Kilo out. Legit. I get to the back. I cuss him out. I said, don't you ever do that again. I said, your spot was stupid to begin with. It messes up. You don't go through with it. Audible. I said, he's out there knocked out. He's knocked out legit. I said, it might have even knocked him out with the table regular, but you're giving him more chance of something going wrong, somebody getting hurt because of it. I chewed him out, cussed him out and everything, but, and I just get a lot of, I don't know. I think I got a bad rap with stuff, I don't know. I don't jerk off to your music.
But one of the first words Quentin said to me. I see. That's not the TKO story. I thought it was going to be that amazing clip of him jumping off a scaffold, doing a frog splash, and the table not breaking, and he weighs all 175 pounds and bounces off the table onto the mat.
Okay, When
after
he
his ribs were turned into powder.
Okay, that's how the scaffold was times it probably 3. How far it come down from the roof of that place. But it's just the kids that they watch stuff on TV and they don't understand. I chewed him. I chewed him and the guy he worked with. Man, this guy was named Bad Brad. Man, they had great matches together. Their chemistry was just really good. And I would say great. I should say great. Good matches for that. They were really good. And one night I don't know what they were trying to. They were just doing stupid stuff. I chewed them both out right in the ring. I said, "Get your heads out of your butts." I cussed them, man. It made me so mad because they knew how they worked, and then one week they just wanted to do all kinds of stupid stuff, and I was like, "No, not while I'm out here. You're not doing stupid stuff." So I guess I'm just harsh at times, at people, but come on, I had Ricky Morton come back in the dressing room after my match and go, put his arm around my shoulder and looked at me and said, that right there was just won the worst match of the year. I went back and walked off. There's a guy I idolized growing up just told me I had one of the worst matches ever. Okay, what did I do? I took it. I felt hurt, probably. But I tried to get better and learn, And a year later, same building, I'm working Ricky Morton in the main event. So, it's how you take stuff, and I don't know. A lot has to do with, who trained you on some of that stuff. And some of it is you believe your own height, and it's all different things, but I don't know. I don't think people really knew me, I'm sure I was a butthole to some people, but I got, a lot of people didn't like me when I first started, and I did kind of, but majority of stuff I get, people say about me, I don't think it's right, I don't think they really know me, What do you think? You didn't like me at first.
No, you didn't like me.
No. I didn't know you or know your work. Saw you work a few times. I was like, this kid's got potential. He's got the basics.
All I remember is some terrible country song playing during intermission and telling you, "Hey, that's my music," because it's your first night managing me. And you go, "Really?" And you hop up. I go, "No." I was trying to joke with you. And that's where the famous line, "I don't sit around and jerk off to your music," came from.
Well, it was.
And I was like, "Oh, great. The booker just said we're going to stick you with this guy so you can learn. And this guy hates me now."
I think it's not that I have smart comments, but it's just, it ain't that I hate you. I didn't know you to hate you, That's the thing.
And I found out later you did listen to my music and jerk off. So
yeah, I didn't know. Hey, Chris Kern one night, 93-ish, early 93-ish maybe, in Lewisburg. I'm sitting there by the door. I always dressed the one spot like in Lewisburg at the Army, right there when you come in the dressing room door. I always sit right there. I was right by the door, and I hear some music playing, and Chris had these non-pro matches. So he paid his rent. So I think they paid like $25.
Explain what a non-pro match is, because nobody knows what that is anymore.
Yeah, the Marks would pay Chris Champion $25 a piece, and he would have like 2 matches before the actual show started every week, and they got to go and just do where they wanted to. They paid, so he would have like 2. He'd have 2 tag matches, so that's $200 right there, right? That's his rent. Pay for the rent. So they'd get music. They didn't dress with the boys. Thank goodness he wouldn't allow that. So he'd give them music. So somebody's music was playing, and Chris Carmen was working first. He's like, "Is that my music?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's your music." He goes out there. It's the non-pros music playing. He comes back in. He's like, "You son of a." And it's like, what a rib. I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" He's like, "That's the non-pros." And I was like, "Oh, it was?" Oh, man. But yeah. I don't know, man. I think I give a lot to the young guys, and I think some of them appreciate it and some of them didn't. So, but I think that's with anything you do, So, I think I'm a nice guy to an extent. I can be a nice guy, and I can be a douchebag too. Put it that way. What if you take from I can be a nice guy and I can't be a douchebag, right?
Hey, I'm doing this podcast with you, so you're a nice guy to me.
Okay. you're the one doing all the work now. I done been a douchebag. So here, you do this now. Got you in, and then now you doing all the work. I'm just sitting back, enjoying the royalties. No, but to get back to that reunion, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
I'm in the same
and there was,
boat.
and there was young guys that I thought probably had that outlook on me. Actually, come up, shook my hand, and asked me how I was doing and everything. Kind of shocked me,
Yeah.
That there were some young guys that, and I was like, I said, hey, that kind of made me feel, good, And it's good to see our old buddy JC Crow.
Oh yeah, we had the Hanging Tough reunion.
Yep, sure did. That was that was good. I could see him in his styling snakeskin boots.
Yeah, let's say his snazzy boots.
Dana saw the picture, like, he getting taller? He's taller than you. I was like, he's got on cowboy boots.
Yeah.
And I got on Crocs. But I am shrinking, but down. I wish I was shrinking. I'm shrinking down and going out. Instead of shrinking inwards like I need to be, I'm shrinking down. Anyway, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I think did a little talking to him this week, Shane, and he's gonna do a few different things to to improve it this coming next year. Add a little something, stuff to it. So I think it's he's really trying to make it. This is gonna be really something, make it to grow it, and which I mean, was there people? There's people from Michigan.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, there's some people in Chicago wanting to come down for the next one.
Yeah,
because this one just kind of got thrown together.
Yeah, it was like in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I'm sure he had the idea longer, but in a month, he had a month, announced it like in a month it was there. And but yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, it could grow. It could keep growing, and you might have to get a bigger play. I mean, you think about what the Cauliflower Alley, what it started out in. It was in the hotel lobby forever in California, right? I mean, I ain't gonna say it's gonna grow like that, but we've always, because Tennessee is around Tennessee, Kentucky, that whole area, we've had so many guys in the last 25 years get in the wrestling business. There's so many people. I think it has the potential actually being a little something, to really grow. And off from the first year and that many people, wow, that's really, and I think the more it goes, the year if it keeps growing, I think you got some guys that will eventually show up. You know what I'm saying? You think,
bigger name guys and stuff like that.
Not that, with just guys that don't do stuff like that. Because they're still working. Will make it a thing of theirs to actually go to it.
Yeah.
Maybe book their wherever they're working that night near, so they can come do that.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a priority for people wanting to come, than just people that it's not working anymore. Because how many people there is actually still working? 25, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, and some of those are even very part time.
Yeah. So I mean, there was a lot of people that said they were coming. I didn't think it was a show because I was like, well, they're working this, they're working someplace that night. It's it's opposite ends. I knew that they said I was like, if they show up, I'd be surprised, because I knew they were still working and they're working different, good distance from there. So, so I'm hoping, if it keeps growing, maybe those people will make it a priority to take a booking near so they can actually come in and show up for a little bit, make it better, grow into something big, I think that's what Shane wants. I think he wants to give something back to everybody, So I enjoyed it. So it's fun.
So we covered last week pretty thoroughly. I think we need to talk about next week. Two things. One, it's your pick.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have the disclaimer. There will not be a show next week. Because they will get married, so we can't have a show. What the crap is that, man? Prioritize, man.
I was trying to make it work out. I legitimately was, but the night that we normally do the taping, we will be eating dinner with my fiance's family. So I figure I have to be there for that. But yeah,
I don't think you can't zoom that. So
by the time the next podcast drops, I will be a married man if I showed up. Now I plan on going through with it because I'll die if not. So we will.
Well, you probably won't get your deposits back, will you?
We've got event insurance. We're smart.
Oh man.
With that said, yes, we will not have a show next week. We will be taping the week after, as long as we meet the one day I will be in town to tape.
Yeah, that's the thing. We might if we have a 2-week delay, it'll be okay because, like I said, weddings come first, and then bookings that are really what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. You're looking.
I know. Anyway, you have some bookings coming up. You're trying to squeeze it in, but if it don't happen, it's okay because it ain't like you're going down to the local VFW hall working in front of 10 people. So
exactly.
Yeah. So we can overlook that big time. So it might actually be a 2-week thing. It's no big deal. But when we do come back, we are going to be watching. Let me pull it up here. Let's see. Well, dadgummit. Ads. I guess.
Technology.
Okay. It is Harley Race versus Terry Funk. July 1st, 1977, Houston, Texas. Harley Race is your world champion. It is 2 out of 3 falls. So it's Paul Bosch. It's going to be 2 out of 3. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Is that Luthez is the ref? No. Never mind. Thought Luthez was a special rep. I can't tell who it is, but it's not Luthez. Never mind. So I'm trying to think. When did Terry have the belt? He just lost this thing, wasn't he?
I'm looking right now.
This is July 1st. My years run together nowadays. I used to tell you exactly when they won it, lost it. And
what year did you say it was?
It's July 1st, 1977.
He won it in 75.
Terry won in 75?
Yeah.
Was it October?
It doesn't have the month here.
It's Toronto, right? Or is that where he lost it at?
That's where he lost it.
Okay. So my stuff, I know about it. Just my details run awkward. They run together. And so it's.
Yeah, Terry beat Briscoe. And then Race beat Terry.
Okay. When did he beat him? When did Race beat Terry?
It doesn't have it here. I'm going to a different page now. God, I don't know. This is weird.
What are you looking on?
I Googled it, but all these pages they don't have the actual dates for the reigns.
Hold on. I can look it up real fast. Well, let's say that as soon as I say it on my phone.
December 10th, 75 is when he won it.
Okay. So when did he lose it to Harley?
I don't know why I didn't do this before.
Well, because it's nothing to do with this with the match we went over.
No, I'm talking about just looking up the world title reigns period.
Oh, like I said, my dates and stuff just run together so much now.
Looks like February 6th of 77 in Toronto.
February 6th of
77.
So this was February, March, April, May, June. So 5 months later, a little under 5 months, a little over 4 months later, they're working again. And so he hasn't had the belt that long. Wow. So it's Houston, 2 out of 3 falls. And it's like, what I say, it was like 40 something minutes, maybe like 42 minutes. So so it's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls. So I stumbled across that and I was like, that's got to be good. I mean, did Harley ever have a bad match?
I haven't seen very many of them.
They said that he made George Gillis like $1 million. So, and George Gillis wasn't the worst wrestler ever. And I don't care what anybody says. Trust me, I've been on some shows and I've actually been in the ring with some clunkers, buddy. Whew. Now George Gillis did have probably the top 3 worst punches ever, probably. But that's beside the point. But anyway, so this is going to be a good one. So we went from 2 weeks of death matches to back to 2 of the best wrestlers ever in the history of wrestling. So
and that will either be recorded in 2 weeks. It'll be recorded in 2 weeks, or it'll be recorded in 3 weeks. One of the two. Yeah,
definitely. I said, if something happens where it interferes with your prior obligations, it ain't no big deal. Yeah, so it won't definitely 27's out, and the third's a maybe. If the third don't happen, we'll definitely be back on the 10th. So we're gonna try to make the third happen, but if it don't, it's no biggie. We will be back on June 10th, and we will be watching Harley versus Funk, which is gonna be good.
Yes.
It's gonna be good. So I don't know. I found one Flair Steamboat from '78, I think it was. But it started already in the middle of the match, so I X-nayed that, and then went like 3 things over. This match popped up. I was like, oh, that's it right there. So I didn't have to really look hardly at all this time for anything. So I kind of went back into my wheelhouse of something. But man, I got an idea for down the road, 2 shows down. When I pick again, I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone on something. I got an idea, but we'll wait and see them. But I can tell you, it's definitely not going to be FMW. So,
all right,
I'm gonna get something good. Is there anything else you need to? Yeah, did you eat anywhere this week?
I didn't know. I've been in
Me neither.
Get in shape mode. So
yeah, I didn't eat nothing out of the ordinary. I don't think. No, I didn't. I don't think. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. But yeah. All right. I'm rambling. You got to stop me.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything to add to it?
I don't.
Okay, if you're done, I'm done. Stick a fork in her, she's done. For Jeremiah Pumpkin Quickers, hey, that's me. Thanks for listening. God bless.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.